Well, apparently I found a way that I could have a 2-second long broadcast. This is Robert Forsch with the YouTube channel Truth. I'm taking another run at it again. You can take a look at my liked video playlist if you care to. Hopefully this broadcast lasts a bit longer. Might find it interesting. What I did is I recorded a P1000 recording to go along with the earlier live broadcast, and I wanted to explain a couple of things while I could. I checked the quality on my live broadcast and found out it was only 2 seconds long. How about that? Yeah, so with the mutual contempt, and I don't think I put Black Friday in there. I probably will. It's a bit of a mourning for me in that it's very likely that I'll never be invited back to another family get-together. My wife Joni has made a decision to leave me. She's been leaving for 5 years, and now it looks like it's getting much, much closer. The reason why I bring that up is because it's very common in relationships when the truth becomes more popular than the other person's happiness. Well, the truth is divisive. And the significance of what the truth is, what the topic that's being looked at, it makes a big difference. When I'm not angry with my family, I'm frustrated with the situation, to be sure. It would be disingenuous to say anything different than that. Because in the family meetings and the celebrations of whether they're graduations or holidays, it's a gathering of people that don't spend much time with one another, typically, and at least that's been our circumstance. And then I wanted to talk about significant issues like the mark of the beast system that's all around us, artificial intelligence. Even though my brother-in-law is an executive at the Southern Baptist Convention, overseeing almost 500,000 people in the 2,100 ecclesiological gatherings of church bodies in the Southern Baptist Convention, he wanted to, as soon as I mentioned any of that, he just looked over at my cousin and asked him about golfing. It was like right over his head. Reason why I mentioned that is it was obvious he didn't want to talk about that. He didn't, and he was a seminary trained professional, ordained and all of that. The reason why I bring that up, if he, well, he'll probably not see this because he blocked me on Facebook, and I would like to have a conversation with he or anybody else that I've even had tense circumstances with. My other brother-in-law, about 4 hours after I arrived there, I was getting ready to leave, and I was saying goodbye to the family, and it was all pretty well and good, and I just couldn't help myself. I couldn't stop myself. I wanted to say, hey, you know what? There's some real serious issues going on with all this, the beast system that's all around us, and I said the shape of the earth, if God chose to make a spinning ball hurling through space and that all work, that'd be just great. I'd be all about that. However, the globe isn't biblical, it's not reality, and there's a mutual contempt that I have for those that I know are deceived. They don't have any proof for the spinning water ball hurling through space. They've got a bunch of programming, and they're perpetuating the deception, and by irony and paradox, they don't know they're doing it. So when my brother-in-law asked me to leave, it wasn't his house. It was my mother-in-law's house, and I needed to go, but I was leaving anyway. The reason why I mention this is with in the context of mutual contempt, where people believe the other person is deceived, irrelevant, and maybe worse, deceiving others. Of course, that's how it's seen. And the most significant issue that I brought up is, I got it from my sister-in-law. It's all about Jesus. It's all about Jesus. And I said, well, it's just, you got to make sure you're actually born again. And of course, the family would say that they are. I thought I was born again in 1982 until I actually was in 2014. She said, "You already mentioned that." I said, "Yeah, I know I did. And one of the problems is the modern churchianity, or what's wearing the name of Christianity, has some proclamations of what you need to do to actually be born again, like slip your hand up and believe that Jesus died for your sins, and proclaim that, and be baptized, and all of that. See, I did all of that, and God had a different plan for me. It was a delayed a delayed being born again experience for me. I had a different message to share with humanity. Actually, he did through me. He wanted to tell humanity something a little bit different, quite a bit different actually. Is that part of the grand illusion, the grand deception, is the construct of the churches that have unbiblical theology. So the censorship that happened at the Thanksgiving, well, like I said, the next time I probably see any of those individuals other than my wife Joni would be at a funeral, because it's unlikely that there will be any effort for them to want to get together again. And I understand that, because on the belief that from their perspective, that I'm deceived by Satan and deceiving others, and I'm mean. I'm not mean. I just love people enough to tell them the truth, the uncomfortable truth of, hey, you know what? You can do all that stuff and not be born again. How about that? Because I actually did work at a full-time ministry. I actually, for 11 years at Rawhide Boys Ranch in New London, Wisconsin. You could probably see pictures of me archived from that ministry. I was selected to lead character development class at a megachurch, Christ the Rock Community Church in Menasha, Wisconsin, or Appleton, the mailing address might be, or was. I helped build the megachurch that it is. I was one of the people that they initially talked to out on the street in 1982. At that time, it was 1981, when I thought I did have an experience. I went from believing that Jesus was a fairy tale to believing that he was real and had a plan for my life, and it was like a half a year later that I cried out to him to rescue me from the life that I had created, the misery that I was in. Well, to fast forward through a lot of difficulty, including homeschooling our sons and being foster parents for 9 young men through Rawhide Boys Ranch. Through all of that, I still wasn't born again. I had the understanding of what that meant, and I was told how to make that happen, and I went through those motions, and I was a dead man walking and didn't know it. So, as uncomfortable as it is to look at that possibility, what they believe about me now, I don't really know. Joni came home probably 8 hours after I had left, and it was uncomfortable. To say it was uncomfortable would be a gross understatement. I'm not all upset with the family. They're deceived and they don't know it. Their programming packages to perpetuate that deception. The mutual contempt that we have for one another and family members have for one another is part of the construct to keep that deception going, because we see each other as deceivers. Can you relate to that? That's part of what happens in this whole exploration for what the truth actually is. So I encourage everybody to seek the truth with all your heart, because it matters for eternity. Eternity is a long time to regret. The great news is all of God's children will absolutely be born of His Spirit, even though I'm exposing the deeds of darkness, and many of my friends and family all over the world actually are. when I like a video, it adds it to millions of my liked videos playlists. I talk about that. Many of my subscribers do not have any content, and just simply by making your liked videos playlist publicly available and then liking videos you want to share with others, it's a great way of communicating a whole bunch of reality and food for thought. As I'm exposing the deeds of darkness, it's on my channel as well. I've got featured channels there. You can look through my liked video playlist, which is over 3,700, and it'll be over 3,770 videos to consider. I like what I do. I love what I do. That's why I like it and love it. I want to prime the pump. So that's part of the deal. I put my phone number out there so people can call me and tell me whatever they want, whether they like it, hate it. I know how to block people if I need to. If any of my family wants to reach out and give me a call and say, hey, what about this or that, that's fine. And when I say family, I mean my worldwide family. Kind of how this has worked out, as best I can tell, is that a very small percentage of the population of the world is aware of the depth of the battle that we're in. I mean, I understand that many people that claim that they're Christ followers, and they probably are. I mean, I was a Christ follower too. I just hadn't been born again. So I was operating in my own strength. So when I look at the man that I was in the mirror struggling with things I was supposed to be set free from, that was pretty disturbing. I wanted to know why that is that I was not free from the things that I was supposed to be free from. So what I'm going to do is post my earlier recording that's with the P1000. It's really pretty, and I covered and unpacked some of this as well. So thank you so much for your public and private encouragement. This is Robert Forsch with the YouTube channel Truth. If you hashtag my name, I believe you'll find a lot of interesting content. I've been compiling it for years, and I've got friends that have shared our collaborative effort around the world, around the clock. When you like one of my video thumbnail posts from my status update, it's a whole playlist, and in many cases it's multiple playlists. The digital audio Bible merged with my liked videos gives people access to my channel. The reason to write down my name and hashtag that is because you'll be able to find content that may be deleted in a variety of venues. That's kind of the way that works. Artificial intelligence is scrambling to choreograph what people are presented for information to base their beliefs and opinions on. That's just the way that works. Oh, I've got a mockingbird right out here. Did you ever hear of Operation Mockingbird? It's where the news media shares the what they want people to hear, what the governments of the world want to have us believe. Isn't he adorable? I love having the mockingbirds out here. They do a lot of impressions. They do a lot of different birds. One of the things that I like to bring up to people is, where in the world could a wind chime hang anywhere upside down? That's not possible. The only place that happens is in the imagination. How about that? That's why I talk about it. So this is Robert Forsch with the YouTube channel Truth. Thank you so much for your public and private encouragement. A couple of things I want you to consider. In the summer, the sun came up way over there and sat right over there. Now today, it came up right over here, and it's going to set way over there, indicating conclusively that it's the sun that's moving. The earth doesn't spin. It's stationary and level. There would be no level anywhere on a spinning water ball hurling through space. Where the sun and the moon appear and vanish, and the duration of their visibility is indicative that they're moving, not the earth. I encourage everybody to seek the truth with all your heart because, well, it matters for eternity. This is Robert Forsch with the YouTube channel Truth. Thank you so much. There's that actionable information once again.